I cannot believe what I just witnessed at Marina Bay. We had Mercedes dominating, McLaren drama, brake failures, team radio meltdowns, and oh my god, McLaren just clinched the Constructors' Championship. But here's the thing that's got me absolutely buzzing. We didn't just see great racing, we saw friendships tested, championship battles intensify, and honestly, some of the most explosive team radio I've heard all season. If you want to know why this Singapore Grand Prix will be talked about for months, stick around because every single team has a story to tell and some of them are not pretty. Okay, so going into this race, George Russell was on pole, which was already a surprise, but the real question everyone had was could Mercedes actually convert this into a win? Because let's be honest, we have seen them struggle in race pace recently. And then there's the McLaren situation, Piastri leading the championship by 25 points over Norris, both needing to maximize points, but they're starting third and fifth. The stage was set for drama. But oh my days, George Russell. This man drove like he had something to prove. From lights out, he just disappeared into the distance, while everyone behind him was battling and making mistakes. Russell was out there doing hot laps like it was a Sunday drive. And you know what the crazy part was? Max Verstappen, starting P2, couldn't even keep up. The Red Bull looked like it was on stilts out there. Max was complaining about the rear feeling like a handbrake, his words, not mine. But here is where it gets spicy. Lap 1, turn 3. Lando Norris absolutely sends it up in the inside of his teammate Oscar Piastri. We're talking about proper elbows out racing here. Norris clips Verstappen first, then basically hips checks Piastri out of the way, and Piastri's reaction on the radio. So are we cool with Lando just barging me out of the way? Guys, this is championship teammate drama at its finest, and it gets worse. When McLaren tells Piastri they won't take action during the race, he fires back. If he has to avoid another car by crashing into his teammate, that's pretty S job of avoiding. Mercedes, the redemption arc. Let's start at the top. George Russell, what a drive. He snatches a sensational pole position, and then from lights out, he was just gone. This was a flawless, dominant, surgical performance. He controlled the pace, managed his tires, and never once looked under threat. His second win of the year, and a massive statement from him and Mercedes. And let's not forget about the rookie. Kimi Antonelli started P4, finished a very strong P5, an incredible result on his first visit to the toughest track on the calendar. Mercedes had a near perfect weekend. McLaren champions with consequences. And now the story of the race. McLaren, they came here as favorites to dominate, with drivers' championship to manage between their two stars, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris. At the start, Norris gets a great launch, but there's contact. He nudges Piastri wide after making slight contact with Verstappen car first. Piastri is furious, and the tension is immediately electric. Norris finishes on the podium in P3. Piastri a frustrated P4. The good news for the team, they have officially won their second consecutive Constructors' Championship. The first time they've done that since 1991. The bad news, the gloves are well and truly off between their two drivers. Red Bull, the struggling champions. Red Bull, what is happening? Max Verstappen, the four-time world champion, spent most of this race complaining about his car. The rear is like a handbrake, mate. That's not what you want to hear from your lead driver. Yes, he got P2, but he was miles off Russell's pace. And Yuki Tsunoda, P12, one lap down. This is not the Red Bull we know and fear. Ferrari, the brake drama. Ferrari had what can only be described as a nightmare. Lewis Hamilton was flying on those soft tires in the final stint, making up ground like a man possessed, when bang, brake failure with 4 laps to go. The man's on the radio going, I can't stop the car, mate. The brakes don't work. The pedal is on the floor. And he's still trying to defend position from Fernando Alonso. That's mental. Now he's under investigation for track limits because I cannot stress this enough. He had no brakes. And Charles Leclerc? P6, but at least his brakes worked. This Ferrari just doesn't have the pace in race trim. Aston Martin, the Alonso show. Fernando Alonso, This man was the entertainment today. P8 in the end, but honestly, he was racing everyone. The team radio and his battling back markers, pure gold. At 43 years old, this guy is still showing these young drivers how it's done. Aston Martin should build a statue of this man. Williams disqualification disaster. Williams had Carlos Sainz and Alex Albon both disqualified from qualifying for DRS irregularities. James Vowles called it bitterly disappointing, and I feel for them. But you know what? Sainz still managed to score a point from back of the grid, P10. That's impressive damage limitation. Haas, the Behrman breakthrough. Oli Behrman, P9. On his first visit to Singapore, this kid is showing serious pace and maturity. Haas has got something special here. Esteban Ocon had a tougher time at P18, but honestly, getting both cars to the finish line at Singapore is achievement on itself. Racing Bulls, the power unit problems. Isaac Hadjar had power unit issues for most of the race, but still finished P11. That's fighting spirit. Liam Lawson, P15, both drivers just trying to learn and survive at this brutal circuit. The Honda power unit reliability is something to watch going forward. Alpine, the rebuild continues. Franco Colapinto P16 and Pierre Gasly P19 Alpine are still in rebuilding mode, but you know what? Both cars finished, both drivers got valuable experience, sometimes that's what you need. Sauber, the learning curve. Gabriel Bortoleto P17 and Nico Hülkenberg P20. Hülkenberg had a massive spin at turn 7 that nearly put him in the wall. Heart in the mouth moment, but he kept it out of the barriers. That's experience right there. Okay, guys, let's talk numbers after today. Piastri still leads the championship, but Norris has closed the gap to just 22 points. Verstappen, he's 63 points back, but still very much in the fight, with 6 races to go. This is going to be the most intense championship finish we've had since 2021, and with McLaren already securing the constructors, the gloves are off between Norris and Piastri. You know what really got me about today? This wasn't just about the racing, though Russell Drive was sublime. This was about relationships, pressure, and what happens when championships are on the line. We saw Piastri's trust in his teammate crack in real time. We saw Hamilton's professionalism under literal brake failure. We saw Alonso still fighting like a lion at 43. This is why I love this sport. It's not just about the cars, it's about the people inside them. So, what's the takeaway from Singapore 2025? Mercedes are back in the win column when conditions suit them. McLaren's title celebration is overshadowed by internal warfare. This championship fight is far from over. And never count out the old guard, Hamilton and Alonso still delivering. The next 6 races are going to be incredible. Every single point matters now. What did you think about Norris Piastri incident? Was Lando out of the line or is it just championship pressure? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like and subscribe.